One more. We got time for one more. This is Ashley. That's my granddaughter's name. She's about to give birth to the fourth one. She's the one that gives birth to the 12-pounders. And easy. She's raw. She takes care of her health. And she births these 12-pound kids. And then her labor's, there it is. Here you go. That's why the raw and the diet makes such a difference at every level that you can talk about and think about. It just changes the way the body operates, the way you give birth, the way you have your monthly cycles. For women that are raw, they rarely bleed. They might spot a little bit. You know, your bleeding is directly related, and I've said this before, to the condition of the uterine wall. Your uterus is a little house, right? And it depends how dirty that wall is. And that means how stagnant is your lymph system. And the more stagnant the lymph system in the uterine wall, what do you see? Endometriosis, uterine fibroids, and then you see your cells, atypical cells, cancer cells, that sort of thing. It's just the process of acid sitting there chewing on cells. What would you expect? Nothing any more, nothing any less. It's common sense. Common sense chemistry, common sense physiology, and that's what you always want. When things get too far out, step back, because it could take you down a rabbit hole. Some of these guys are going down rabbit holes because their egos and their minds, they don't realize simplicity sometimes is the art of the day. Okay, Ashley, she's 40, but she's 5'4". Okay, 260 pounds. So we have serious adrenal issues here, and you've got kidneys with it. You're not going to have adrenals without kidneys. That's ridiculous. So if you're 260 pounds and you're only 5'4", you know immediately you're having metabolism problems. And there could be that thyroid up there, and then you go to your pituitary. So the pituitary is suppressing the thyroid, rate of metabolism, and things like this. So it's easy to gain weight. A low thyroid, you eat 1 meal a day, that's all you can eat. You eat 2 meals a day, you gain weight. I mean, this is when your metabolism is low, and then you have your adrenals and the utilization factors of sugars and things, and if you don't utilize sugars, then what happens? So you see, all of that is part and parcel to the fight that our bodies have. So sometimes when we fight weight, and then the other lady brought up the fungal issue, and sometimes when you're overweight like that, you got a lot of fungus in you, and you've got to get a hold of that, because it's hard to change your diet when you have billions of little fungi going, wait a minute, I don't want that. I want some cheese. Yeah. I want a piece of bread. I want some bread. Oh, thank you. I love to hear that, because I've been through hell this last few months. I'll have to tell you. Things are going on. I'll be able to tell you someday. But been not fun. A lot of crazy people out there with just lost their minds. We love you, Doc. I love you too, guys. I know that the pituitary gland needs to be addressed as well. You're smart. You're already smart, Ashley. I knew it. That's what I love about you guys. Where are you going to go to a medical doctor, and they're going to size you up when you walk in and tell you you've got pituitary and everything else and how to fix it? You don't get that anywhere. My sister turned 40, and out of nowhere, she is gaining weight like crazy, and she is gaining weight in her stomach. Is that weight or edema? I hope that's weight as opposed to edema. Okay. And breast area. Testing shows that her testosterone and androgen levels have skyrocketed. She even has facial chin hair. Oh, no! Holy honey, God. She hates this. Well, I'll tell you, the first thing she's got to do is she's got to think about her adrenal glands. That's obvious. That's a big deal for her, and getting into the kidney and adrenal gland issue. When you're looking at testosterone, estrogen, and things like that, you're going to go into your adrenal glands, especially with her. And to get a balance within that, you've got to get them healthy. You can, remember, every tissue you're talking about, whether it's an endocrine gland or the thyroid, adrenals, all are just a bunch of cells that are specialized, that produce whatever hormone, steroid, neurotransmitter, whatever it is, insulin, whatever it is. Their job is to work in the production of that. But they're just cells sitting in space, and they're locked in tissue. They have connective tissue and peritoneum and all kinds of things, right? So the issue is, why are these tissues being affected in the negative way? And there's only one place you can go to this. You can't go to the world of diseases. That thing has to die. Somebody needs to go bury that. You have to take a look at real chemistry, real food, real diets, and take a look at what man's been eating. And then take a look at how unhealthy man is. It's horrible. And Americans are real unhealthy. So this is a time that one has to look at that sort of thing. But I'm saying her adrenal glands are, what can we do to balance her hormones? All right, so do this. It seems as if her pituitary is teeter-tottering between hyper and hyper, and that's possible. So if I have a gland sitting there, it's just being a gland, how do I make it hyperactive? What side of chemistry do you think makes things hyperactive? Ow, 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 ow. Not an alkali, a base. Not a base, that's an alkali, an acid. Ow! So that can make things hyper initially, but they will always go down. And sometime or another, and I've given the example of Mick, the Fleetwood Mac's drummer. Well, I love Fleetwood Mac. And the years they put in the studio work. But Mick in particular, he's kind of a funny guy. Crazy drummer, man. You see him lately? Yeah, he's bigger Mick. He's not that thin. I'm on coke and I've got a hyperparathyroid or a hyperthyroidism. So you could see a gland going back and forth for hyper or hypo, and we see it in heart work too. We see what we call bradytachy. Heart slows down, speeds back up. Slows down, speeds back up. All right, bradytachy syndrome. All right. All these syndromes like this are inspired by chemistry, no question. What is stimulative to tissue? And it's always going to be the lymph, and it's always going to be acidosis. You get the lymph filtering and remove these acids out of the body, and everything goes. It's kind of like going a fruit diet. What's the first thing you recognize? Your mind and everything starts quieting down. You don't get the chatter. Your body goes into almost a meditation when you eat right. You almost live relaxed, feeling good. That's the alkaline side, the electrolyte side, the electron side, the energy side. Because they both have energies. So it's going to go back to this broken record that I have here called the lymphatic system. And once you get on board with that, all your answers, all your answers to your questions are there. But if you've got a pituitary and she's your sister, you got to think about that. I generally only give herbs for the pituitary. Chase tree is a specific for that, but I only give herbal formulas for that. I don't give glandulars for the pituitary, only because it's very responsive. If you're going to take a glandular for a dead pituitary, so to speak, you want about no more than probably 10, 15, 20 milligrams. You don't want to go on up there too much. Same with the thyroid. I wouldn't take over 100 milligrams of a glandular. I've given 500 before and caused hyperthyroidism. I mean, just for a short time. Oh no, as practitioners, we go through it. We go through with you your journey. We ride with you. Oh, we shouldn't have given that. We should give that. I mean, you got 50 years of me working in and out of people trying to find the best way to detox someone to make them healthy without too much discomfort, without too much of a healing crisis. I've always tried to do that. Because in the earlier days, some of these healing crises were radical, brother. Damn. That's because we didn't understand the chemistry and how the body works and how we can help the body with botanicals. The natural hygienic people flatly thought, like the Netherlands, that botanicals are poisonous, toxic. God, dumb butts. Yeah, take an herb is toxic, but you'll give chemotherapy. Any doctor that thinks that, you need to give up your license. You're in the wrong field, brother. So that's how I would do that. Bringing the whole body into balance. All right? And that's what herbs are really good for. They do bring the body into balance. Especially the alteratives and things like this. They just, and the tonics and things, they can bring the body into balance and strengthen and tone the body. But the first and foremost, you've got to get your sewer system moving and your adrenal glands up and running. Address the pituitary with an endocrine gland formula. Then you're going to address your kidneys and your lymphatic systems with herbal formulas, that sort of thing. And then always go after the GI tract. I mean, we've destroyed our burner systems, and we've just got to fix them back. You know, the GI tract, there's so much GI tract. Colon cancer used to be number one. You know, and it's just like you just can't, we're not a meat-eating species. And at the level of meat-eating that a lot of humans do, it's just total destruction of the gut tissue and the kidney tissue. And then it just resonates into what we talked about, RA and other things like this. Very common amongst, like I said, high-protein eaters. So, yeah, go that route. And if you need any more help, let me know. But I would probably do definitely an endocrine gland formula. You could do chase tree a little by itself, but I wouldn't overly do it. You know, you're getting your whole body in a move. You know, when you do the diet, that's your whole body. You're affecting your whole body starting to get in line. The consciousness of the fruits and all of this. Everything's starting to get in that ride with you. The body's starting to get in that rhythm again. And that's what you're doing. Get in the rhythm with your body and take your body down that road. Don't let your body take you. You take your body down the road. You become the master of your journey. You take off these binoculars once in a while and look around, then put them back on if you want to, but try to keep them off as much as possible, and then no one will hurt you. No one will lie to you anymore because you'll be able to see truth at levels you've never seen before. So it's just learning how to become the observer as opposed to the thinker.